welcome to another week of Evolve. I am your host, Monette Brann-Natta. It is so good to be back with you, and when I say back with you, I mean actually back with you. I have been doing a great deal of traveling, and that will continue probably throughout the rest of the summer, and it's been so wonderful to connect with old friends and to meet new families. So to everyone from the Carolinas and Georgia and upstate New York, I say a great big hello. I love all of you guys. It was wonderful to spend time with you. But we are back, and there have been a few things on my mind I've been excited to share with you. This has been something that's been percolating over the last couple weeks as I've been traveling and getting to interact with these beautiful families all over the country, really. So I wanted to bring to you the idea and the idea of bringing about more in your life and how you really do that. And for me, I noticed that it's through gratitude. That's going to be the title of today's show, The Gratitude Exponent. And don't groan yet for those of you who don't like math. We're going to break it down with some math talk and a little bit of inspired talk as well. But before we get into that, I want to give you an example. And I'll start off by telling you I love fashion. I love colors, I love clothes, I love patterns, I love repeating patterns on top of colors and clothes. So I really find myself gravitating towards, if you haven't figured it out yet, brightly colored things. I attribute that to some of my West Indian heritage. Even though I was born here, I am from West Indian parents and was brought up that way. So one day, not too long ago, my significant other and I were at the Florida State Fair, and we were walking amongst the vendors, and we were seeing all these beautifully colored things and clothing and various gadgets and gizmos, and I happened to be very attracted to this booth, and it was this guy selling these gorgeous African skirts, and they were brightly colored, and they were flowing and flapping in the wind, and I thought, of course, he's not going to have anything in my size. So I walked by. But then I was drawn back. My significant other was like, you want to go back there? Yeah, I want to go back there. So the guy saw me kind of stalking his little kiosk. And I said, oh, the stuff is gorgeous, but you don't have anything my size. He says, no, I have a whole rack over here for just you, and I'm sure you'll find something on there. I'm a little skeptical. I'm not going to find anything there. But I look because, hey, girls and guys that love fashion, you've got to look. So I look through and I start seeing one after another that just absolutely captured my attention. And there was one that I was so attracted to. It was bright pink with blue in it, and it had a very East Indian kind of Bollywood vibe. And even though these were African skirts, the coloring on it just made it look like that to me. And I'm obsessed with all things East Indian. I love saris. I have saris. I wear them. I wear bindis. Nothing that makes any sense. I guess that you would get in trouble for cultural appropriation, I suppose, but I just admire so much the beauty and the vibrant colors that are involved in that clothing. So I wanted that pink and blue skirt. And I had an event coming up. Some of you were there for that event. It was the art show that I did in April. And this is prior to the art show, or excuse me, I don't even remember what month I did the art show in now. But the art show, I think it might have been April, I was there prior to. This was in February, so I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm going to need an outfit for this show. I'm going to need something really fun and spectacular. And so there was another color there, yellow. I happen to adore that color, probably amongst the top three in my favorite colors. And I was looking at that skirt, and my significant other happens to love yellow too. It's his favorite color. And so we were going back and forth, and he's like, this is the one. And then the vendor saying, this one, I only have one in yellow, this is the one. But that pink and blue skirt, it had my heart. But I understand color, and I think about it. Everything that I do, there's incredible thought put into it, and I researched the meaning of color and what it means and everything, and that skirt was yellow and burgundy, and I researched it, and I realized that for what was happening for that event, I wanted to present what those colors meant. And I struggled with that. I know you would think, it's a skirt, Monette, get over it. How much could you struggle with the color of that skirt? Because even though I loved it, it had burgundy in it, and that was a new thing for me. So another show, another time, we'll get into all the color meanings and how they affect you. I'm very, very affected by aesthetic. So I thought about that, but I really wanted that pink and blue skirt, but we bought my significant other got for me so that I could be all ready for my show, that skirt, the yellow and burgundy skirt, which was, by the way, awesome. You can go on Facebook and see pictures. I love that skirt. But I was obsessed with those skirts ever since then. It had this dashiki print on it, and I got so many compliments, and people really seemed to like it, and it worked well for me. And it was bold, and it had all of the things I love, color, patterning on top of color, and bright vibrancy. But I thought about that pink and blue skirt. So the art show came and went, and I started to write gratitude notes about the skirt. And I said to my significant other, I am going to find that vendor. Now, he mentioned to me haphazardly that he happened to own a shop in, I believe it was Daytona. I'm a couple hours away from there, and I thought, I'm just going to drive over there one day because I need this skirt. Before all the traveling that I was going to do, I thought, I need this pink and blue skirt. I adore it. So I did some detective work, and he gave me this card, and it was really a card to his wife's business, and his wife braids hair. And so I called her, and I said, hey, does your husband own a shop? I'm just a random crazy girl calling you weeks later after the state fair, not even calling the husband. She says, yeah, he does, and here's the address. So I want you to hear this. In my own power, I was going to get the skirt because I wanted it. And I was writing gratitude notes about the skirt. And this isn't about materialism, but I want you to see how this worked out for me. So I'm putting in my little jar every night. I'm thankful for the skirt, amongst the many other things I put in my gratitude jar. But that skirt was there a couple times, and then I started to put momentum and action behind it like the law of attraction states you should do. I started to research how I could find it myself. I asked about pricing. I figured out where his store was. I talked to my significant other. We planned a trip to go to Daytona just for these skirts. And time went by, and I put it out into the universe, but it dissipated. I was like, well, I'll get the skirts when it's time to get them. And so life goes on, and I start traveling. I go up to South Carolina, or North Carolina, actually, for the graduation of a friend's daughter, and a dear, dear, sweet friend, an amazing daughter she has, who is a doctor. Congratulations, Miss Legacy. And I'm up there with them, and her mother and I are just driving down the side of the road with her father, and we're just like driving and perusing. I'm thinking nothing at all. We happen to pass in the middle of nowhere, like a country road, this woman with a tent, very similar to the guys at the state fairs, next to not even a gas station. It was just like, I don't even know what it was. And she's there, and these dresses and skirts are flapping in the wind. They caught my eye, and I was like, oh my gosh, and I squealed, and I said, those are the skirts. And I said, but it's okay, keep driving. They're not going to have anything in my size. Oh, me of little faith, right? So they're not going to have anything my size. So I said, keep driving. She says, no, we have to look. This is right on the way to my house. It's no big deal. We've got to go back. She whips the SUV around. We go back, and we look. And here's the thing about these skirts. When I picked the style I got, it was an elastic band, and I thought, oh, that's great. But what I was in love with was the wrap skirt. That was what I wanted. That was the pink and blue. We get there, and they have wrap skirts. And I said to her, it's not going to be in my size, to the vendor. She says, oh, no, I do. I have it. Just look. She had one in a brightly colored orange and blue and one in a dark blue and a yellow, and I love them both. And so I ended up getting both of them. But what I really wanted, and I said, oh, you don't have pink? And she said, no, but I can get it in for you. And I'm like, well, I'm going to be going, and no big deal. And I want you to know that my dear sweet friend said, oh, I'm going to come back by and get it. Well, people say things all the time. She is a woman of her word. So, but I said, no, not at all. Because I purchased one skirt, and as a gift for me, she purchased the other. And I thought, how wonderful that I've ended up with two of these skirts when I was about to make a whole trek to a different part of my state just to get them. And I came out of state, and here I find exactly what I want, but not my color. Well, a couple days ago, what showed up in the mail for me was the exact skirt, literally, that I wanted so many months ago from that fair. the pink and blue wrap skirt that was vibrant with the East Indian vibe and colors, and it was gifted. I didn't have to buy it. She remembered. She took her time and energy and sent me the package. I looked through my gratitude notes, and I had written about this pink and blue wrap skirt. But what I found fascinating is that my gratitude, even though I didn't understand how it was working out at the time, magnetized these skirts to me exponentially. Like, now I have 3 skirts. I wanted one. I have 4 technically in total. I wanted one, and now I have 4. I couldn't have planned it. I didn't even ask for it. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I thought I was going to make it happen within my own means, by my own power. I didn't realize that by putting it out there and just leaving it, it was heard. And not only heard, but it was asked and answered. I can't have asked for a better outcome than this beautiful array of skirts I have. It taught me something about gratitude. It taught me that we sometimes try too hard for the things we want, and we're wanting too hard. I didn't really obsess about it. I wrote about 3 gratitude notes over the course of a few months. I really love that pink and blue skirt. I didn't at all realize that it would magnetize itself to me in the amazing way that it did. So many things in life grow in what I call an exponential way, or what is called an exponential way. They grow really fast or they grow really slowly. So, for example, if you have lots of money in the bank, the money through compounding is growing exponentially. I had an exponential growth of skirts just because I invested gratitude into them. So when the money is compounding and growing exponentially, it means that you're not adding more funds for it to increase in amount, but that it is following the law of exponential growth. So things that grow really, really dramatically are following the law of exponential growth. Okay, are you guys still with me? Because we're going to get a little mathy here, all right? And I promise you, it's going to be okay. So the question is, what is an exponential function? So in algebraic terms, a function is explained as y equals some constant raised to a variable power. So the key thing here to note is that the variable x is happening in the exponent. And the base can be any positive number except for 1. So that's enough with our math talk. Let me break it down into people talk, because I know it may have been a while since you've delved into all this. So let's name the exponent gratitude. In our energetic equation, the exponent gratitude is multiplied, and you are the base. And I want you to understand this before I go any further. This was truly given to me. I would never in 100 years choose to explain anything under the pretense of algebra or math or exponents. Trust me. But I dreamt of this, and these numbers were floating around, and so here I am, conveying to you what I received in the best way that I can. So bear with me. Your everyday existence is the base. Gratitude is the variable that can cause exponential growth. And I'm going to say that again really slowly. Your everyday existence is the base in the equation, and gratitude, what you're thinking about, is the variable that can cause exponential growth in your life. Now, we've all heard of the law of attraction and the adage that what we think about, we bring about. And I want to put a spin on that. What we think about, we bank about. And this is not in regards to only money, though that principle does show itself in the law of tithing. But what I mean is that we are in constant gratitude for things, and when we are in constant gratitude for things, we have the pleasure of watching it grow, or watching what we are in gratitude for grow. So that's something that I realized happened with the skirts. I was having gratitude about those